The Up and Adam Show is sponsored by the Topflix app. Discover your next favorite movie and TV series and where to stream it. Explore trending titles, popular trailers, entertainment news, and much more, all in one free app. Download it on the App Store today for free. Thank you and enjoy the video.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Up and Adam Show. My name is Adam Lupus. Thanks for joining me, guys. I appreciate you tuning in once again. I have a very special guest for you guys, and for all you Seinfeld fans out there, you're really going to appreciate this one. He's the owner and the creator of Costanza Grams. Please welcome Dustin Lee. Dustin, how are you, man?
Hey, thanks for having me on, Adam.
No problem, dude. I'm really excited to have you on. We got some fun stuff planned in store tonight. I'm excited to get into it, man.
Me too.
Before we get started, tell us about your page, man. So you run a page called Costanza Grams, all inspired by Seinfeld. But I can see you love George Costanza just because of the name in the picture. So tell us about how you got started with the page.
So I started it in 2014. To be completely transparent, I didn't start the first one. There was an account already called Costanza Gram that was just posting like screenshots and stuff like that from the show. Mm-hmm. Then they just all of a sudden stopped posting. So and then I kept bugging them like, hey, keep posting, or if you don't want this account anymore, let me take it over. Got no response. So I'm like, all right, I guess I'll just start a new one, because I mean, I was enjoying it. I think a lot of other people were enjoying it. So then started a whole new account. First it was called the New Costanza Gram. And then, because just in case that guy ever came back.
Yeah.
Never did. So then I just added the little S at the end, make it plural.
Yeah.
So that it became Costanza Grams. I initially I always liked George because it just felt like the person that I related to, but I also hated, and which is like me.
So yeah, so he's one of those guys you love to hate him, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. But also, I guess a little bit of me hating myself.
We're getting a little dark now. Eh?
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
But then I just also thought the idea of having a page like just for like that's what originally it was. It was only George like related stuff. It wasn't like the entire show. Mm-hmm. And that's what people were like really hyped about. And when they first like it came across their eyes, they said, "Oh man, there's a page completely dedicated to George Costanza." And like I saw a lot of those comments, and that's how I kind of like had a feeling this might go somewhere. Like just the fact that people liked it, like the simple idea about it.
Yeah,
it was just George focused at first.
Mm-hmm.
So I was doing that for a while, maybe like a year after a year, it wasn't really popping off or anything. So then I was like about to stop. And then one day, I didn't even know, this other account, Curb Your Larry David, which pretty much does the same thing with Curb Your Enthusiasm content, gave me a shout out, and just like overnight, it went from 400 followers to like 4,000. And then by the end of the week, it was like 10,000 already.
Holy shit.
And yeah, like from there, I was like, all right, I guess I got something here now. So I'm going to just keep trying to build off of it.
Yeah.
I mean, not like in a monetizing way, just more like I just wanted the account to, like, my goal was to get to 100K.
Yeah.
And I was like, once I get to 100K, like I know I made it or something, or at least like, or something. Just like,
it's always good to have a goal. It's always good to have a goal.
Yeah, exactly. And basically just posted content. I always loved memes just because I felt very related to it. Mm-hmm. Just also funny, like in general.
Yeah. So
I just kept going with it, and yeah.
And now here you are, man. Over 500,000 followers, man. Congrats. Yeah. That's awesome,
Thank
dude.
You.
You know what's funny? So you mentioned that account, Curb Your Larry David. I thought that's actually Larry David's account. Isn't that? I thought that was him.
No, I don't think Larry has a real account. Like from what I remember, like I haven't checked recently, but from what I remember, basically his daughter runs her account and just like has him come into her account a bunch of times, like just posting photos of him, Cassie David. But I'm pretty sure he doesn't have one. Like I've talked to the Curb Your Larry David account guy. He's like in the Netherlands or something.
Oh shit! Yeah, but imagine if Larry David actually had an Instagram. It'd be pretty funny, eh?
Yeah,
the stuff he'd be posting, because he is essentially from the show. Like, and we'll get into more in the interview. But like, the character is based off Larry David, right? So it's
Yeah.
kind of funny how it's but then you watch Curb Your Enthusiasm, I don't really see George as him. Like I like George better than Larry David.
I think
Like,
it's like an extreme version of George.
yeah, Curb Your Enthusiasm is I find it's more dark. It's very
Mhm.
dark, but it's fucking hilarious, man.
Yeah.
They're both good though in their own right. But
Yeah.
we got some good stuff. So like I want to go over some stuff that people didn't know about the show. Because again, I started watching the show and I've been watching it sporadically. I haven't been watching it in order about a few months ago. But I grew up knowing about it and you know the notion that it's a great show because my siblings who are much older than me, they grew up watching the show, right? So for me, I still love it. Characters are great, but some of the fun facts I wanted to get into that people don't know about is that initially this show was not supposed to be a full 8-series, 9-series show. It was supposed to be a one-off, a 90-minute thing on SNL. So I
Yeah.
mean, the reason I want to talk to you about this stuff because you're very knowledgeable. I see you do trivia, so I want to see if you can educate me as well in the audience. So
Well, my trivia is really more about the show itself. Like I know little bits and pieces about behind the scenes stuff, like the thing you just mentioned.
yeah,
Like that's pretty much all I know about it too. That it was supposed to be a 90-minute special, like part of like SNL, I guess, like kind of like attached to that, and then that
yeah.
was going to be it. I don't know how exactly it became a sitcom, but I think the executives, whatever at NBC, just like saw something there. Oh, actually, no. I think what happened was they just like couldn't make it work with a 90 minutes, so they like had to split it up to like
And
22 minutes or whatever.
and then it probably became something that like people loved.
Yeah.
Which is something I guess in a lot of shows, like I know for the show like Sopranos, it was supposed to be like just a pilot and that's it. They were just gonna do a pilot and then they didn't really think anything of it and then
Mhm.
fucking blows up. I guess that's how it all is, man. You
Yeah,
know,
I think Curb was like that too. The first episode of Curb, which was just like Curb Your Enthusiasm,
yeah,
like it was like a 90-minute special, and then that actually they decided to turn it into a show, I think, but they actually aired that 90-minute special. I'm pretty sure that's episode 1 is 90 minutes.
it's long though, man.
Yeah.
It's like watching a movie. It's like you're watching a movie then after.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. And it's so funny because there's this whole thing around the show that it's a show about nothing, right? Which is something I think that was from the episode when Jerry was making his own
Mhm.
show with like Jeremy Piven playing George and
Right.
stuff.
See, this should be the show. This is the show.
What?
This. Just talking.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I'm really serious. I think that's a good idea.
Just talking? What's the show about?
It's about nothing.
That was so funny. So it's crazy because if I was watching interviews with like Jerry Seinfeld and like Larry David, and they were saying like the whole idea that that was never their intention. They wanted to create a show. The show was mainly about Jerry, where a comedian gets his material essentially, right? So it's just
Right.
funny like how the fans create their own thing, and then every account you go to, it's like even I think there's another page called Seinfeld episodes. It's like his bio says like a page about nothing. It's so funny how this idea comes up with it.
Yeah, I mean, I've said the whole about nothing before, but it's really just to please like the fans and followers. Like, but
Yeah.
I don't think it's about nothing. I think it's just about like life, like in real life,
Yeah,
like
everyday
life
everyday
exaggerated,
stuff.
but life. Yeah, it's just that's why I think people love the show because they can all relate to it because it's their part of their own life. They like, oh yeah, I go through that all the time.
Yeah,
Like that.
and then
So
they have
I
a good
think
laugh.
yeah, and that's why I think it's just about life, not really about nothing. I mean, I know in that season 4 episode they like make fun of it, how it's saying, "Oh, nothing's happening here," but I don't know. I always disagreed with that. I was like, it's not about nothing. There's a lot going on there.
I think it's like an ongoing joke. It's like the show about nothing, right? It's an
Right.
ongoing joke thing. But also last time we spoke on Instagram, you brought something up that was pretty interesting about some of the locations in Seinfeld, right? So I
Mhm.
know there's many of them. I know we can't get into all of them, but there's one. It's on Mork's. No, it's the restaurant that they go to, Tom's
Yeah,
Diner,
that is,
right?
yep, that
So-
is on. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, no, yeah, that's it became popular more because of the show, but that's
Definitely.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how they decided on that as the exterior, even though if you are like watching carefully, you realize it's not even close to like what's on the TV show set.
Yeah, I know. That's why it's funny. Yeah, you watch it, and then and then it's funny. There's scenes where like it's kind of closer up with the windows, and you can kind of vaguely see inside, and then it goes inside. It's like, what the fuck? That's not even the same thing.
Not even close.
Not even close. Sorry, it's called monks, not I said morks. I don't know where I got mork from, but
Gotcha.
Morks.
Yeah.
Yeah, very appetizing for a diner. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah, there's many things, and even like another fun fact as well about Kramer. A couple things. First off, Michael Richards. It's apparently he took his role really seriously, which I found kind of sad because you always think Kramer is such a lovable character, which he is, but then like you realize like he was talking about it and he has a lot of regrets. Like he's like, I wish I had more fun in the show. And if you could tell by the bloopers, like whenever people would mess up, he would always get upset. Like, come on, guys, we got to get through it, right?
I lived with the Eskimos many years ago, and they used to plunge their faces into the snow.
George.
Okay, do that again.
Can't.
Okay, hold on.
Please.
Try it.
You
Okay,
don't know
keep
how hard
rolling.
it
Go.
is for me. Looking at his face and saying it.
All right, let's try
So
it.
hard. Please don't laugh.
And I think that was something because Larry David also wanted the cast members not to get too like after someone messes up, you got to get right back to it. He wanted everything to be like professional. So I guess that had a big impact on like Michael Richards' character, but you wouldn't be able to tell because his Kramer is so funny. Like he's very believable. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely as an actor, I think he took things really seriously. And I mean, I get it. Like it is just so ironic because of the way all of his other characters have been, even like before Seinfeld in other like roles he's done like in movies where like he's kind of like the weirdo goofball kind of character.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's like, it's just funny how he's so professional, I guess you could say.
And you wouldn't even realize it. You wouldn't even realize it. Yeah, even in that movie Airheads, he was in. Remember that movie? Yeah, he was.
That's what I was referring to.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, it's like, and you would think in real life he just is a goofball because that's why they picked him. But he's completely opposite, man. Like he's very professional, and I didn't even know this. His real name, not real name. Sorry, in the show was supposed to be Kessler.
Mm-hmm.
What the hell?
Yeah, so they wanted to use the Kramer name, but just like the real Kenny Kramer in real life, they, like is how like Cosmo Kramer would act. Like he wanted to play, like if he knew that his name was going to be used for the show, it was just going to be like a pain in the ass for Larry, basically. So they wanted to name it Kessler at first, and you could actually hear it in the first episode. Very, very soft, but Jerry says, "Oh, Kessler, you ruined the episode," or whatever. Like, ruined the show, the Mets game he was watching.
Oh yes, yeah, because he wanted a TV guide or something. Was he looking for like a TV guide or something?
No, he taped the show, and he didn't want people to, or whoever he answered the phone to, ruin the game for him, the score.
Oh yes,
yes. And then Kramer comes in and just says, well, Kessler, I guess you could say, comes in and says, "Oh, the Mets really blew it tonight." And then he's like, "Oh, Kessler." It was
10 out of 10
or
impression.
something. Yeah.
I'm just joking.
Have you ever seen the big trucks out on the street? Yeah, no problem.
Boy, the Mets blew it tonight, huh?
Oh, what are you doing, Kessler? It's a tape. I taped the game. It's 1 o'clock in the morning.
But then they also poke fun at it in the episode The Betrayal, the backwards episode where they go to India. At the end, which I guess technically is the beginning, if you understand that reference, they do a flashback scene like 10 years earlier, and it's Kramer knocking on Jerry, or coming up to Jerry's door when he just moved into the apartment, and he's like, "Oh, I saw your name on the buzzer. You must be Kessler." He's like, "Actually, it's Kramer." So they like threw that little joke in there too.
That's smart.
Funny.
Okay, so it makes sense now. 'Cause I didn't catch on to that. I saw the first episode, obviously, right? But it's funny. I guess it just because it's the cage,
it's
right?
super soft the way like
Kessler,
Jerry says
Kramer,
it.
it's the way I think he said it. Because then you have the TV in the background, you see Kramer being Kramer, and then you don't even realize it half the time.
He just mumbles it, so like I didn't know until like someone pointed it out, and I was like, really listening carefully. I'm like,
Kessler, what's going on?
Yeah.
He always talks like this. He's so funny. But see, it's funny. They all make me laugh, the characters. But again, going back to George, because again, like the page itself, Costanzagrams, I wanted to kind of talk about some of my favorite George Costanza scenes and episodes too. So there's one where I'm sure it's one of your favorites too, when George quits his job and goes back. That's probably one of the funniest scenes. And I'll try to do my best to reenact as best I can. But it's like, that's it. This is it. I'm done. Through. Finished. Over. I will never work for you again. Look at you. You think you're important, man? Is that what you think? You are a laughing stock. You are a joke. These people are laughing at you. You're nothing. You have no brains, no ability, nothing. I quit.
She was great. You don't want to know. Hey, Brecky, remind me to tell you what we did in Lake George. Get this. I got it all on video.
That's it. This is it. I'm done. Through. It's over. I'm gone. Finished. Over. I will never work for you again. Look at you. You think you're an important man? Is that what you think? You are a laughing stock. You are a joke. These people are laughing at you. You're nothing. You have no brains, no ability, nothing. I quit.
It's so funny.
That was really good.
Thanks, bro. Dude, that scene always kills. And then when he goes back, and no shame, because then Jerry's like, "Why don't you just go back?" And it's like, the funny thing about what you just mentioned before was about how we can all relate to the show, because that definitely happened. I think it happened.
That actually happened to Larry on SNL.
Yeah, I read about
with Lorne Michaels. And it was real life Kenny Kramer that told him, "Why don't you just go back and pretend like nothing happened?"
Oh my god.
So,
I don't know if it was that awkward for him to go back, but
I think actually it worked out for him. Like, I think they were like, it's fine or something. I think Lorne Michaels said it was fine. I'm pretty sure.
Oh my god, that's so funny, dude. It's like there's always something, and a lot of times what I'll do is even if I don't watch the full episodes, I'll just go on YouTube and just search scenes, and I can rewatch them over and over and over because they're just so funny. But one of my all-time favorites as well is the Soup Nazi episode, and just to see, yeah. But even that one little scene when George goes like, "I didn't get my was it crackers? Yeah, I didn't get my crackers." It's like, forget it, I'll just move on. Excuse me, and like, no soup for you. It's just so funny, man. It's like, what?
Excuse me, I think you forgot my bread.
Bread, $2 extra.
$2, but everyone in front of me got free bread.
You want bread?
Yes, please.
$3. What? No soup for you.
And then, yeah, but George is iconic, man. Even the big salad thing. You had to have the big salad.
If it was a regular salad, I wouldn't have said anything. But you had to have the big salad.
Yeah, but what are some of your favorite George scenes or like episodes? I guess with him in it.
I'd say the first one that comes to my mind is the opposite, just because it's the one where he wins instead of is like the loser the whole time. And just doing the opposite. I always just wanted to do that too myself.
Yeah.
But just never did. But it just seemed like such a good concept. Like especially if like things were going wrong in your life, to just do exactly the opposite of your natural instinct.
Yeah.
So it made sense to me.
Well, here's your chance to try the opposite. Instead of tuna salad and being intimidated by women, chicken salad and going right up to them.
Yeah, I should do the opposite. I should.
If every instinct you have is wrong, then the opposite would have to be right.
Yes. I will do the opposite. I used to sit here and do nothing and regret it for the rest of the day. So now I will do the opposite and I will do something.
Another one. I think of the limo, even though it's not really a George-focused episode, but
which one is that one again?
Where George is picking up Jerry from the airport. His car breaks down, and they end up taking Colin O'Brien's limousine, which happened to be a neo-Nazi guy or something.
Who are you? I'm Jerry Seinfeld. He's George Costanza. He was supposed to pick me up at the airport, but his car broke down. I told him to get rid of that car, but he wouldn't. So he's driving on the boat Parkway, and the thing broke down. So he shows up to pick me up without him.
And so George is pretending to be Colin O'Brien, who is like the Nazi guy. And it's just, I just always thought it was funny, the stuff that he says in the backseat of the limo, like when he's calling his parents. Just thought it was funny. He's like, hey, I'm in the back of the limo. And then it's like, no one died. And then his mom's on the phone. Like, well, you don't see her, but she asks him, like, how'd you get in a limo? He says, I'll tell you later. He's like, I can't. Like, you know what? I'm never telling you. And he just gets to a fight with his mom in the back of the car. I just always thought that was really funny.
When George yells, I think that's the most funniest part, when he yells. Even the part, I didn't watch this episode yet, but I'm gonna watch it. When George comes in and he's like, and he goes to Jerry, he goes, I'm Cartwright. And he goes, you're not Cartwright. He goes, of course I'm not Cartwright. That one.
Yeah,
what was that one about? Like,
that's the Chinese restaurant.
Yeah, but what happened with it? So like he said, I'm not Cartwright, but what's Cartwright?
So he was calling a woman he was seeing at the time, and he wanted her to call him back. This is, of course, pre-cell phones.
Yeah.
He wanted her to call him back at the restaurant and ask for a Costanza. Someone calls the restaurant. The host answers and thinks the name was Cartwright.
Oh.
So then he starts yelling, Cartwright, Cartwright. And George hears it, but he doesn't respond because he's like, doesn't know what's going on.
It's not my name. Yeah.
Right. And then he eventually goes over to check if anyone called. And he's like, yeah, I yelled Cartwright. And nobody answer, I hang up.
Well, they have hot dogs there.
Oh, movie hot dogs. I'd rather lick the food off the floor.
I can't go anyway. I have to wait here for Tatiana's call. Let me just check. Excuse me, I'm expecting a call. Costanza?
Yes, I just got a call. I yell, Cartwright, Cartwright, just like that. Nobody came up, I hang up.
Well, was it for Costanza or?
Yes, that's it. Nobody answered.
So then,
yeah, that's the story of the Cartwright.
I gotta watch that one. It was so funny the way he snapped. Of course, I'm not Cartwright. Yeah, so funny. Even when George, when he tells people he's an architect, the famous thing. It's like, what'd you do? Oh, I did the Guggenheim. You did that? Yeah. It didn't take me that long either. It's just so funny, bro. I could go on all day about George, man, because he's so funny. Even when he was like, it's like, I do railroads. I thought engineers do that. They can.
They could.
They can. Holy shit, that's so funny, dude. Yeah, but the show itself, it is really good. And like, I think each character, I'll be honest with you, man, not to shame Jerry Seinfeld. I just don't think I don't think he's the star of the show, even though it's his show. You know what I mean?
I think a lot of people feel like that when they just like watch, like they haven't seen like every episode like 200 times, like me.
Yeah.
But yeah, like once you watch it a lot more times, you do appreciate Jerry for his comedy, his acting, and his like plot stories. But he was always very advocate of like not having the stories be about him so much. Like he wanted George's character, Kramer's character, or Elaine's character to be like more of the main segment of whatever episode they were in.
Yeah, and it sucks too. I could be wrong about this, but I think George was the only one who didn't get an Emmy for the show. I think like Michael Richards got it, Julia Dreyfus and Jerry Seinfeld, they all got it except for him.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know who got awards.
Yeah, but I think it was. I think he was the only one. And it's, if it is true, it is unfortunate because I think like, to me, I think Kramer and George, it's like a battle of humor, right? I think they're both the stars of funny, but I must say my opinion, I still think George is funnier because it just seems more natural to him. You can tell like that's like when you look at him, you kind of feel bad for the guy because he's bald, he's short, he's stubby. Like Kramer's just funny because he acts goofy, but I think George, you genuinely feel bad for him. That's why it makes it even more funnier. You agree with it, like it's the same.
Yeah, I think so. Cause he just looks like the more normal person, or I guess average person.
Yeah.
But I mean, also that's Jason's acting was just way, like, just really good. Like he was a Broadway person, like in
I
the
didn't know
theater.
that.
Yeah, he was in theater. I mean, he did movies and shows and stuff before Seinfeld also, but he was definitely like more of a, like, he was into the theater world, and I believe he did theater like after the show too. Like I'm pretty sure he was doing Fish in the Dark with Larry, like they switched off. And I actually went to like his one man show that he did maybe 2 years ago.
Yeah. And it was how was it though? Was it good?
To be honest, I went with my fiance, or my girlfriend at the time, but she's my fiance now, and there was some lady sitting right in front of us that was just like pretty much laughing, like annoyingly laughing the entire time, so we couldn't enjoy it at all. Like,
oh my god,
it was so distracting.
I hate people like that, man.
We couldn't hear anything. It was unfortunate. It was not a good time, but it was always a funny. We always make fun of her now, like the way she was laughing.
I didn't know those little things were garlic. I thought they were peanuts.
How was she doing? Can you want to do a little impression of it?
Sure. She'd be like, or like a funny laugh would be like, ha, and then a medium would be like, ha.
What was she, Peter Griffin?
I don't know, I guess, but it was like that the entire show.
Oh,
so
geez. Yeah, that's annoying.
Yeah.
You should just told her, hey, man, can you keep it down? Like, I mean, but you can't because she's laughing. It's like it's because she probably can't even help it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Oh, that sucks, dude. What are so you went to like stuff like that as well. What other things have you done, or what are some cool facts about like Seinfeld that you had to experience? For example, you experienced that. What's another thing you had to experience?
The first big thing was when Hulu bought the rights for Seinfeld. They hit me up in 2015 to come to the apartment display, the apartment thing in New York City.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me.
No worries.
But that was like the first big thing. They just hit me up, they DM'd me and was like, hey, we'd love to have you come to the apartment, and if you could just do some promos for us, that'd be awesome. And I'm like, yeah, definitely. I'm very happy to do that. And I got to go there on the VIP night and met Larry Thomas, aka the Soup Nazi.
Oh, no way. That's awesome, dude.
Yeah, he was there. David Putty, Patrick Warburton was there.
How about
I think those
Newman?
are the only. No, he wasn't there. But
they like Newman.
I think those are the only two major celebrities at the show. But it was cool because I just had all the stuff from the show, like the actual booth was there. They had the wall, this brick wall, where like I think on the last episode, all the cast members autographed it, or like just wrote a message to like Jerry on it. And then they just had a whole bunch of stuff there, which was really cool.
That's pretty awesome, dude.
Yeah.
So this page has brought you a lot of opportunity then, eh?
Oh yeah, definitely. Like then they did it again. Like that was in June 2015, and then they did it again in LA in December.
Mm-hmm.
They flew me out for that, which was really cool.
That's so cool.
And then the Brooklyn Cyclones in New York City, it's like a minor league baseball team.
Mm-hmm.
They do a Seinfeld night. I mean, up until COVID, they were doing it like every summer. They would invite me to that, and they always had like people from the show on, like as like special guests for there. So that was always cool too. Like I saw Jackie Childs. Why is his name like not ringing a bell right now? God damn it. What the hell? I'm drawing a blank for some reason. Oh, Kenny Banya was there.
Okay.
Yeah, just a bunch of like two other ones I forget. We had Larry Thomas again. John Paul. I forgot his real name. It's like Jeremiah something, I forget. And Lloyd Braun, the newer Lloyd Braun was there, and also Bizarro Jerry, he was there too. So it was just cool to always, like, they had this every single year, and it's pretty much like a Seinfeld convention. I was
gonna say pretty much like a Seinfeld convention, exactly.
Yeah. Like
You
a
get to-
lot of people were there. Yeah. And
You
they
can-
had like games and gifts and like bobbleheads and stuff like that for like the fans.
and then you can like network and everything and meet people. That guy, Larry, is it Larry Thomas? You said the
Mhm.
soup Nazi, right?
Yeah.
His voice in real life, but that doesn't sound anything like that at all. But apparently, that guy, it's there actually was. It was based. I think the whole Seinfeld, like a lot of the characters are based off real life stuff. Like, because even that soup Nazi guy, apparently they said that Seinfeld ruined his life. He's like an actual tonight. Actual, I was watching a YouTube video and it's like you can see he's so pissed, and it's like Seinfeld ruined my life. Like, imagine saying that like on live TV.
Yeah, that's. I mean, I don't know the context, so I don't know.
Always want to hear me say it. Unless they say it, sometimes people will say it to me. But I think people are surprised because they go like, could you? And I'll just go, no soup for you. And they jump. And I say, have to make you jump or else it's no fun.
No soup for you. Come back 1 year.
No, but it's just crazy. Like how even with I forgot who else was it. George Costanza's character too. It was based off Jerry's friend Michael Costanza.
That is debatable. It was always like people from the show have always said that it's based off Larry. The name, I don't know where they got the name. Some guy named Mike Costanza claimed they took it from him. I don't know if that's true. He tried to sue them.
Bro, yeah, $100 million. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if that's true. Like I never really looked deep into it because I just didn't care.
Yeah, it's pointless. Yeah.
It just seemed kind of like someone trying to get some clout, in my opinion, but I don't know.
Yeah, but that's a lot of fucking money to sue someone for that. And then he's but it is based off Larry David, because I think he was explaining it like, no, this is based off me and my character, all this stuff. And then he even explained some of the scenes like, this is something I did. Me and Jerry, we we're friends for a long time, so it's all people, man. When it's a big show like that, they'll do anything for money.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? But that's Dustin. I think we're gonna wrap it up for today, man. It was pretty fun explaining all this stuff. It's nice to talk to someone as knowledgeable as you with Seinfeld, because again, I'm pretty new to the show, but I do love it and I do respect everything about it. So I want to say thank you again for doing this for me, man.
No, thanks for having me on.
No problem, dude. And no problem. And before we wrap it up, you want to just plug your Instagram where people can find you on social media?
Oh, sure. It's at Costanzagrams, COSTANZAGRAMS. I have trouble spelling sometimes. It's the same thing on Instagram, Facebook. I have Twitter, but I don't really go on there too often. And the website. That's pretty much it, I think.
Cool. Awesome, dude. Well, thank you very much. And guys, thanks for watching once again. And remember to like and subscribe. And I'll see you guys on the next one.